All right. Good to see you live. I'm going to be deep diving into rewiring your brain to transform your life and how you can neural hack results. So here you go. Let's do this. All right. I'm going to be talking today about rewiring your brain so you can transform your life. So, how many of you woke up this morning and consciously created your future? I mean, really honestly, did you wake up today with the deliberate intention of creating the life you want? Or did you wake up to check your phone, shuffle into the bathroom, look into the mirror to remember who you are and begin the exact same thought patterns as you had yesterday? So, if we're being really, really honest, most of us live on autopilot. We think the same thoughts, we feel the same feelings, and we make the same choices, and we take the same actions. And we're surprised when our lives don't change. Hi, I'm Dr. Shannon Irvin, business strategist, neuropsychologist, and the creator of the 67-Day Year and the Sync NeuroCoach certification. Here's something that might shock you. By the time you're 35 years old, neuroscience tells us that 95% of who you are, your habits, your reactions, your beliefs, is completely unconscious. It's running on autopilot. Think about your day. You probably woke up at the same time, followed the same morning routine, drove to work the same way, you had the same reactions to the same triggers, and experienced the same level of stress and frustration or joy that you did yesterday. Your brain loves this predictability and efficiency. But here's the problem: when you're living from these memorized behaviors and emotional states, you're not creating a new future. You're recreating your past over and over and over again. Your brain is literally wired to keeping thinking and feeling and behaving in ways that maintain your current reality. And it doesn't matter if that reality includes struggle, limitation, or unfulfillment. Your brain is designed to maintain what's familiar, not what's possible. So let me explain how this works on a neural psychological level. Every time you have a thought, your brain releases a specific neurochemical. These chemicals create feelings in your body. And when you think the same thoughts every day, you create the same chemicals in your body every day. Over time, your body becomes addicted to these chemical states. So if you're constantly thinking thoughts of worry or stress or inadequacy, your body becomes addicted to those chemicals of stress and worry, even if we don't want them. Lame, huh? And here's where it gets, in my opinion, really interesting. Your body starts to crave those familiar chemical states. So it sends signals back to your brain to think thoughts that will create the emotions that it's addicted to. It's a loop that keeps you stuck. But here's the exciting part: you can break this loop by rewiring your brain. Your brain has this incredible ability called neuroplasticity. Its ability to form new neural connections throughout your entire life. Every time you think a new thought, practice a new behavior, you're literally creating new pathways in your brain. When you consistently direct your attention toward these new possibilities rather than familiar limitations, when you rehearse these new thoughts and embody these new emotional states, you begin creating new neural networks. And studies have shown that people who practice this focused meditation for 8 weeks, you see measurable changes in the brain structure, specifically in regions of the brain connected to self-awareness and self-compassion and stress regulation. And I've seen people transform their lives dramatically through this understanding. Entrepreneurs who were stuck for years suddenly breaking through income ceilings, individuals with chronic anxiety creating states of profound peace, and people in toxic relationships finding courage to create healthy boundaries. These transformations didn't come from changing their external circumstances first. It came from changing their internal state, rewiring their brain. So, how do you actually do this? How do you break the cycle and create new neural networks that support the life that you want? I've developed this framework based on neuroscience called STEBDAR that will help you to identify and transform these subconscious patterns that are keeping you stuck. So, here's how it works. First of all, S is for situation. We first have to identify the situation where you're not getting the results you want. This could be in business, relationships, health, anywhere where you feel stuck. Second is thoughts. Notice the automatic thoughts that arise in this situation. These aren't your deliberate conscious thoughts. These are immediate, reflexive thoughts flashing through your mind, often so quickly you barely even notice them. All right, E, emotions. Pay attention to the emotions these thoughts trigger. Our emotions are powerful chemical responses in our body that can either energize us toward our goals or keep us trapped in these old patterns. All right, B is for belief. This is where the magic happens. When thoughts and emotions combine repeatedly, they form beliefs, and these beliefs are operating subconsciously. 90% of the time driving your decisions, your actions automatically. That creates decisions. So when that fires without your knowledge or permission, 90% of the time, your decisions, your beliefs determine your decisions. If you believe I'm not good enough, you'll decide not to take risks. If you believe success means sacrifice, you'll decide to overwork and burn out. A equals actions. It's your decisions that lead to these actions or inactions. These behaviors ultimately create your results. Your results are outcomes from this experience, which reinforce the original belief cycle that keeps repeating. So here's what makes this framework so powerful. When you're not getting the results you want, you don't just try harder with the same actions. You go deeper, look for blind spots, the subconscious beliefs that are running 90% of the decisions and action without you even realizing. The key is to slow down with those questions, and just really question those beliefs. Is this belief actually true? Is it serving me? Do I want to keep operating with this belief driving my decision? This is neural rewiring in action. By bringing awareness to these subconscious patterns and deliberately choosing new thoughts, you create new emotional states. These new thought and emotion combinations from new beliefs and lead to new decisions, new actions, and ultimately new results. You practice this on a daily. Identify a situation where you feel stuck, trace it back through the framework. What belief might be operating beneath the surface? Question it. Choose a new belief that serves your vision and practice thinking and feeling from this new belief daily until it becomes your new neural default. This is how you break free from the 95% of unconscious programming that's been running your life. This is how you consciously create a future rather than recreating your past. The greatest gift that we have as human beings is the ability to move beyond our awareness to the present moment. And we can imagine possibilities that don't yet exist and bring them into reality by changing our internal state first. This isn't about denying reality. It's about understanding that your perception of reality is filtered through the lens of your beliefs, expectations, and neural pathways. Change those and you change what's possible for you. You were not meant to live, excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. I had to clear my throat there. You are not meant to live confined by your limitations or your past programming. You are meant to evolve, to grow, to become more. And that begins when you make a conscious decision to stop being defined by your past and start creating your future. And if you want to deep dive into rewiring your brain for what you truly want, I've created something called the 67-day year challenge, where I'm going to be walking you through this process step by step. I've taught thousands of people who have transformed their lives and their businesses. So if this is something that you're interested in, just comment the word challenge down below. The reality is you don't have a motivation problem. You have a neural networks that are waiting to be upgraded. So let's start that upgrade today. All right. I love being with you here live. I look forward to seeing you on the 67-day year challenge. So make sure you comment challenge down below. And if this is the first time you've heard me or listened to me, please hit subscribe, hit that little bell, and be here for more rewiring of your brain so you can have the life, the business, and the calling that you were put on the planet for. I'm Dr. Shannon. See you later. Bye for now.